Hey everyone, I'll be covering all of the Nintendo Switch's games announced for the first week of June. But before I begin, I just wanted to take a second to remind all of you that E3 is happening this upcoming week. This series' next video would be airing on the middle of E3 on June 13th, and it makes little sense to try and rush something out as events are still happening. So we'll be skipping a week and we'll be back on June 20th recapping all of the amazing reveals we'll surely get within the next 2 weeks. I hope you guys understand, and with all that out of the way, let's get started. Crytek announced that Crysis Remastered Trilogy is coming to the Nintendo Switch this fall, set to include Crysis Remastered, Crysis 2 Remastered, and of course, Crysis 3 Remastered. Relive some of the most lauded shooters in a decade that on Switch will be seeing tons of visual upgrades and changes to properly take advantage of the hardware capabilities. Sadly, the developers did confirm that this will be a digital-only release. Join Alba as she visits her grandparents on the Mediterranean island. She's ready for a peaceful summer wildlife exploration with her friend Inez, but when she sees animals in danger, she realizes that she needs to do something about it. Alba, a wildlife adventurer, has to explore this island to gather volunteers around town to help her clean and maintain their habitat. As you awaken in the corridors of a seemingly empty building, you quickly realize that the environment takes on a life of its own and leads you to discover a series of victims all exposed to the same experimental chemical in unsound mind. As you search for answers and a way out, bizarre visions emerge and introduce a host of imposing horrors in this first-person psychological thriller. Trick out your ride and get ready for new threats via unlockable skills and items that'll have you shredding in wave race. From tropical beaches to frozen tundras, experience skate parks in a brand new way with dynamic and high-tech physically based fluid simulations. Play either solo or with others via local co-op and then take it online in a wide variety of game modes after you finish the basic campaign. The atmospheric geometric puzzle game that asks you to sometimes follow the instructions and sometimes break the rules, LEGO Builder's Journey, is set to release on Switch on June 22nd. Take your time to experiment with free-form puzzle solving while immersing yourself in a poetic world full of LEGO bricks. This game is available on Apple Arcade as of right now. Micros revealed that the Smurfs mission Vileaf was coming to the Nintendo Switch a few months back, but only this past week we finally got our first look at the game. Gargamel is up to no good again, and Pop-Up Smurf calls for some of the most versatile Smurfs to help him out in this quest to get rid of the dreadful and escalating situation. Swap between 4 playable characters that can cover each other's weaknesses, and relive some of the favorite moments of the show from a new perspective. ANIMUS Revenant is a direct sequel to the original ANIMUS Harbinger released on the Switch a few years back, offering a grisly combat experience from an isometric perspective, calling back the sensations of Soul-like games. Focusing a bit more on the story and its blood-for-blood mechanics, this entry is looking to refine combat encounters to make them deadlier and more speedy, where each of the weapons play a significant role in each one of your encounters. Willy Morgan and the Curse of Bonetown offers a modern take on point-and-click adventure games by having players collect clues and solve puzzles in a computerized 3D pirate-themed world. As Willy uncovers details regarding his father's mysterious disappearance, fans of all ages are able to enjoy a hilarious dialogue, whimsical characters, and a charming cartoon set of graphics. As a threat from beyond looms over the solar system, Project Aether First Contact is ready to deploy. Take control of a powerful Aether mech in this rhythmic and tactical space shooter, which combines a classic arcade-style twin-stick action with 3D environments and engaging sci-fi stories. Choose your own rhythmic approach to combat, be it ranged arsenals, close combat, or flat-out light swords like in your favorite animated show. Armed with the power to control both positive and negative magnetic polarities, Magbot must survive through a myriad of challenging platforming environments to save his own planet. A demo is available in the eShop right now for anyone interested in this puzzle platformer that is set to launch on June 22nd. Collect clues, figure out who done it, and pin the crime on the real culprit if you can mount a proper case in Overboard, an adventure sim where you're constantly doubting everyone who you interact with. The ticker is clicking and you only have 8 hours to find the real killer in a simulated story world that's changing dynamically in each one of your playthroughs to constantly keep you guessing. Tsubaki may be a delinquent, but her strong sense of justice means that she never bullies the weak or gets involved in crime. Even so, the way she looks and talks often causes people to misjudge her. In IdolDays, you play as a talent agent looking for the purest idol, and you just so happen to cross paths with Tsubaki, where the comedic-filled tale of this entry begins. Enlisting more than a dozen female warriors, each with their own access to multiple class trees and 22 unit types, including character-exclusive advanced classics that are unlocked through exploration and hidden side quests. Customize your own team to adapt to varied battle conditions, and you can return to clear areas for optimal challenges as you unlock monster skills in a unique per system and event rewind to the previous combat round to try a different set of strategies and a different approach. Mystic Pillars is a unique blend of intriguing puzzles and an immersive storyline set in ancient India, providing you with an engaging gameplay experience, resolving the drought that's plaguing a once prosperous kingdom by solving puzzles and destroying the magical pillars blocking the water in over 100 handcrafted and unique puzzles. Akitsushino has the ability to see spirits, apparitions, and indescribable creatures. This talent leads her to join the secret government agency and monitor powerful beings who can travel between the worlds in the visual novel Dairoku, Agents of Sakuratani. Help her guide these souls and get a grip on her personal life when it releases this fall. Sable's Grimoire is a visual novel featuring monster girls in a magical academy setting. Play as Sable, who's accepted into a prestigious academy as one of the few pure-blooded humans capable of using magic. Sadly for her, the teachers are not interested in teaching, the principal is constantly breaking the rules, and the students are nothing but jokers ready to ditch at a moment's notice. Choose your own glitchy adventure in TerrorBane, as you the player explore scores of wacky errors and witty glitches, sprinkled with a dash of video game culture and tons of references. Help or challenge the developer on his quest to fix his own game by collecting bugs through multiple playthroughs. Make full use of up to 3 roles per character to enjoy the variety of skills, effects, and even costumes, in a turn-based set of battles that can change special orbs and launch up to 4 continuous actions all at once. In Chroma Quarantinian, that takes place in a world of 4 kingdoms, each colored by their seasons that are now being threatened by the upcoming war that you got to stop at all cost. These 2 policemen are charming, tough anti-heroes who hate criminals, and together they're shooting to make a big difference in their community. Blast ammo or toss grenades at hooligan punks, and take down the head of honchos and syndicates that are terrorizing the streets. Take on over 14 different types of enemies, from random thugs to mafia bosses and even aliens, when Donuts Injustice releases. The 2D pixel art platformer Rotund Takeoff is set to launch on June 17th on Nintendo Switch, bringing with it the precision platforming in the vein of Super Meat Boy and Celeste, with a big focus on speed and the option to bounce off walls through a multiplayer world with unstable terrain, constantly forcing your movements to be erratic and even unpredictable. Dungeon Escape features numerous single-screen challenges, each that can be retried as many times as necessary. Die and repeat and learn from your mistakes as you fill on your skills improving with each one of the attempts. And that's all the games announced that we'll be covering this week. Like I mentioned at the top of the video, there won't be a new games announced wrap up for June 13th. What I didn't mention earlier is that I'm planning 2 separate videos instead. One will be on June 15th, giving my raw reactions to the Nintendo Direct, where I'll basically go over anything that caught my eye. Secondly, around the 17th or the 18th in June, I will put out a top 10 Switch games revealed from E3 video, covering the biggest reveals that we got for the entire event period. So it'll be kind of like these videos, but just covering the big reveals. And like I mentioned before, on June 20th, we'll have a full video covering all of the reveals regardless of how big or small they actually are. Hopefully this cleared things out for everyone, and I hope you guys enjoy E3 and take it easy. I'm sure it's going to be a great event, so make sure to enjoy it. I would like to remind all of you to try to keep your expectations in check. A lot of people are expecting a lot of big reveals, and it's understandable to do so. But do keep in mind that there has been a pandemic going on, and Nintendo certainly seems to be having issues getting games out there for people to be able to enjoy. So not necessarily every single game that you do hope for will be shown. That's just kind of the nature of it. but just constantly being reminded of that will probably help you to stop being disappointed if you don't end up getting that reveal that you certainly want. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!